Hello, I'm Avis Kalfsbeck, and this is the Peace is Here podcast. Welcome to Peacewarts, School of Peacecraft and Inquiry, where we practice the skills of peace through short daily classes. We take the peace work seriously, but not ourselves. If you're joining us mid-school year, you're not late. Orientation begins at episode 198. Welcome back to Universal Understars 101 in the Tower, Peace Scholars. For the last few days, we've been looking at the image of the planet from a distance. Today, we look at the mechanics. Buckminster Fuller said, "We are all astronauts on a little spaceship called Earth." In this department, we study the concept of the closed system. In science, a closed system is one where nothing enters or leaves except for energy. Everything we have here, every drop of water, every atom of oxygen, every scrap of copper or gold, is all we will ever have. There is no delivery truck coming from another galaxy to restock our shelves. The concept, Spaceship Earth. This idea was popularized by Buckminster Fuller, an inventor and systems theorist who realized that humanity was behaving like passengers who didn't know they were on a ship. He called it Spaceship Earth. The core lesson of Spaceship Earth is that there is no away. When we throw something away or when we push an enemy away, they are still on the ship. When we pollute the air in one cabin of the ship, that air eventually circulates into the cockpit and the engine room. From the high view, the idea of a national economy is a myth. There is only a planetary inventory. The history. The 1963 Pacem in Terris. While Fuller was talking about the engineering of the planet, others were talking about the morality of the ship. On April 11, 1963, Pope John XXIII issued an encyclical, a high-level public letter, called Pacem in Terris, Peace on Earth. This was the first time a pope addressed not just Catholics, but all men of goodwill. It was a high-view document. He argued that because we are a single human family living in a closed system, the same moral law which governs relations between individual human beings must also regulate the relations of political communities. He was essentially saying that you cannot have a different set of rules for nations than you do for neighbors, because on a ship this small, everyone is a neighbor. The thesis. The mechanical failure of war. The lesson for today is that war is a system error. If you were on a literal spaceship and one group of passengers started setting fire to the curtains to spite another group, you wouldn't call it foreign policy. You would call it a mechanical disaster. In the Department of Universal Understars, we see that violence is a failure to understand the plumbing of our own planet. When we spend trillions of dollars on weapons in a closed system, we are essentially taking parts out of the life support system to build a bigger hammer. Your homework. 1. Interrupt your routine to look up the term closed ecological system and read about how resources are recycled on the International Space Station. 2. Write down one question you have after this episode or doing homework number 1. If no question comes to mind, write no question. 3. Optional. Journal about the phrase, "There is no away." How does that change the way you think about a conflict on the other side of the world? Until our next lesson, keep your eyes on the Understars. Class dismissed. Thank you for listening. If you'd like to support the Pieces Here podcast, the most helpful way is to follow it wherever you're listening. It helps share the message with others. You can also support this piecework at my Patreon for $4 a month, about what a used paperback goes for these days. Just go to Patreon at patreon.com/Avis Kalfsbeck. That's AVISKALFSBEEK. My most recent book is Monomutante, a best friend eco-fiction novella about food systems, featuring Tilly, Camas, Pedro, and the rest of the gang. It's book 6 in the Pedro the Water Dog Saves the Planet series and is available wherever you buy books. You can find all of my peace projects and stay in touch at avaskovspec.com. Music is by Javier Peque Rodriguez. Sound effects are from Pixabay. Regarding peace, we need not delay or despair. We are not late. We are right on time to love. We are all scholars of peace. Listen for the peace.